NBA draft season is finally upon us, and in just a few days, teams will be looking to change the way their team is shaped forever. This draft is absolutely loaded with talent, so many teams should come away from this draft extremely happy with a player that they draft. Many rumors have been flying around talking about whether teams will be trading their picks or players for picks, but I can't predict the future, so this mock draft that I'm about to do is based solely on what I think the teams will do at the pick that they have, not what I think they should do. Before I get into things though, make sure you subscribe below, as all support for the channel is very much appreciated. And with that being said, let's get right into things. With the first pick in the draft, the Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton. Ayton is the most physically gifted big man in the draft, and his offensive game is already very impressive. He's an athletic freak with the body of an NBA veteran, but at only 19 years old, he has even more room to grow, which has NBA teams salivating. He can score both inside and out with his impressive post moves and a reliable jump shot from deep, and he dominates the boards at a high level as well. He's good and he knows it. At his pre-draft workout with the Suns, he told the media that he was going to be the #1 pick, and all signs point towards him being correct, as the Suns are very high on him. It's very unlikely that the Suns will pick someone else, so expect Ayton's name to be called first overall. With the second pick in the draft, the Sacramento Kings select Marvin Bagley. The Kings have sent out a lot of differing reports regarding their draft pick lately, and they have worked out many of the top prospects in the last few weeks as well. For a franchise that has struggled for almost 2 decades now, they need a surefire hit at the #2 pick. General manager Vlade Divac is reportedly not very high on Luka Doncic, so the other prospect regarded by most as a surefire solid player is Marvin Bagley from Duke. The Kings have also shown interest in Michael Porter Jr. here, and I wouldn't be surprised necessarily if they chose him here, but the fact that his health is such a mystery makes me think he's too much of a gamble that high in the draft, and the Kings can't afford to squander this opportunity. With the third pick in the draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Luka Doncic. Doncic is seen by many as a top 2 prospect in the draft, so being able to take him at 3 would be great for the Hawks here. Doncic is the most accomplished European prospect ever, having won the EuroLeague and having been named MVP of that tournament, and at 6'8", he has great height for either guard position. For context, the EuroLeague is the second best league in the world behind only the NBA, and Doncic dominated the competition as a teenager, so his transition to the NBA should be a lot smoother than the players coming out of college. The Hawks' current point guard, Dennis Schroeder, is unhappy in Atlanta and wants out, so if they grant him his wish and trade him, Luka could step into his spot and run the team moving forward. With the 4th pick in the draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Michael Porter Jr. Let me start off by saying that I don't believe the Grizzlies will actually be the ones picking here at the #4 spot. They have been involved heavily in trade talks with numerous different teams. The Bulls might move up, the Sixers might move up, and a few others have inquired as well. That being said, I can't predict the future, so assuming the Grizzlies do stay put, they will take Michael Porter Jr. The Grizzlies are desperate for scoring, and scoring is Porter's specialty. The team only ranked 27th in offensive efficiency last season. Michael Conley is coming back healthy, and Gasol is still on the team, so they should be back in the playoff hunt next year. Because of that, they have room to take a risk on Porter and his questionable health, because if he's healthy, he can provide another scoring punch that the team desperately needs. With the 5th pick in the draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Mo Bamba. Bamba is my absolute favorite prospect in this draft, and I truly believe that he has a legit shot at being the best player from this draft class when all is said and done. He's the best defensive player in the draft with his outrageous 7'10" wingspan and his highly impressive mobility for someone who stands at 7'1". In today's NBA, centers need to be able to protect the rim in order to find long-term success on the highest level, and Bamba is very good at doing just that. Throw in the fact that his jump shot is improving by the day and looks very impressive in pre-draft workouts, he should make the Mavericks very happy for a long time. With the 6th pick in the draft, the Orlando Magic select Jaren Jackson Jr. Jackson was almost a lock to be a top 5 pick leading up to this week, but over the last few days reports have flooded in about teams being interested in other prospects, and Jackson has been the prospect left out. He's a defensive big man who projects very well on that end of the floor with his shot blocking ability, but he needs to learn how to limit his fouls. He also has a very good 3-point shot, which is always welcome at the NBA level. The Magic have been looking to move on from Nikola Vucevic for a while now, so Jackson could step into his spot. I realize the team desperately needs a point guard, but I'm not sure if they can justify drafting Trae Young over Jaren Jackson, so they can find that spot elsewhere. With the 7th pick in the draft, the Chicago Bulls select Wendell Carter Jr. Carter's season got a bit overshadowed by Marvin Bagley's while at Duke, which has resulted in him flying a bit under the radar, but he's certainly still one of the most talented players in the draft. He was actually better on the defensive end than Bagley was at Duke, and while he may not have been as good of an offensive threat, he was still very good on that end. He didn't take many threes, but when he did, he made them at an efficient rate, and he's also a savvy post scorer. The Bulls would ideally like Michael Porter Jr. here, but since he's already off the board, they'll settle for Carter as a long-term replacement for Robin Lopez. With the 9th pick in the draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Colin Sexton. Sexton has been connected to the Cavaliers in a number of ways throughout the pre-draft process. The Cavaliers GM was in attendance for his pre-draft workout with the team, and he came away very impressed with him as a player. Reports have said that they are more than likely going to take him as a result. Additionally, LeBron James has been vocal of how much he is impressed with Sexton, and that's certainly another key factor seeing as they're trying to bring LeBron back to the team this offseason. George Hill is not the long-term solution at point guard, and even if LeBron does leave, Sexton could develop into a nice two-way guard moving forward. With the 9th pick in the draft, the New York Knicks select Kevin Knox. If any one player has benefited from the last few weeks leading up to the draft, it's Knox. Early on, he was projected to be picked in the very late lottery, and there was even a chance he would fall out of the lottery completely. Then he started to kill it at all of his pre-draft workouts, and a lot of teams began to take notice. He's only 18 years old and has the ability to create his own shot in a way that few prospects have. His potential is through the roof, and his ability to provide Porzingis with another scoring threat will be vital for the team's growth moving forward. With the 10th pick in the draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Mikal Bridges. Bridges playing for the city he played college basketball in would be a dream come true for both sides. The Sixers need more shooters to surround Ben Simmons, and Bridges was extremely efficient shooting the ball in college, especially off the catch and shoot. The team's foundation is also built on the defensive end, and as the team that was ranked 3rd in defense last year, they need more perimeter defenders. It just so happens that Bridges is the best perimeter defender in the draft, so once again, as I said before, this is a match made in heaven. With the 11th pick in the draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Trae Young. Young finally stops sliding down the draft board at Charlotte, who are going to need a new point guard to build around. Kemba Walker remains on the trade block, and the team is unlikely to re-sign him, so getting a young player to replace him is best case scenario. Additionally, multiple reports claim that the team will 100% be drafting a point guard, and Young is the best player available here at this position. With the 12th pick in the draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Miles Bridges. With the spot the Clippers are in, they'll probably opt to go with the best player available, and here that player is Bridges. Bridges is a jack-of-all-trades player who does everything well but doesn't necessarily do anything great. He's a good shooter, good defender, good athlete, and good playmaker. In today's era of positionless basketball, Bridges should fit right in. With the 13th pick in the draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Lonnie Walker. Austin Rivers and Milos Teodosic might leave in free agency this summer, and Patrick Beverley's name has been thrown around in trade rumors already, so the guard position might become an area of need for the team. Walker is an impressive two-way wing in the draft that has helped himself big time in pre-draft workouts. He was a bit inconsistent in college, but he was also dealing with injuries. Once healthy, it would be worth it to take him with the 13th pick. With the 14th pick in the draft, the Denver Nuggets select Shai GilgeousAlexander. Closing out the lottery, the Nuggets will be taking the best point guard left in SGA, especially because the team needs a point guard. Jamal Murray is the only point guard on the roster next year, and even he is more of a combo guard, so SGA could make an immediate impact in that regard. He does a little bit of everything on the offensive end, and at 6'6", he has an advantage over other guards on defense. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to most at the draft tomorrow down in the comments below, and make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. New videos come weekly, so stay tuned for that, and follow me on Twitter at hoopsreference. I'll see you guys next video.